Good morning, dear Dharma friends. Well, here we are again. Have you ever driven across the country? It's far. And you stop at a rest stop and take care of all your business, and then you get back in the car, and then you're suddenly at another rest stop, and then you're back. It's strange. And that's this Groundhog Day experience for me. Didn't we just do this? Time is odd. So, orienting to date. It's the 11th of December of the year 2020. And we're gathered here I am in the Buddha Broadcasting Network Chateau in Portland, Oregon. And this is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community. Please check out the website, portlandinsight.org. Lots of good stuff there. So, a very short little poem today. Its title, I lost the title. It's not there in this. It's called Struggle and Confusion. Have you noticed any struggle or confusion? We tend to approach it as though it's a mistake. Wendell Berry. It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work. And that when we no longer know which way to go, we have come to our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. The impeded stream is the one that sings. It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work. And that when we no longer know which way to go, we have come to our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. The impeded stream is the one that sings. It reminds me of a story that I heard somewhere a long time ago. I think it might have been Jack Kornfield telling it, that it was a wisdom tale about if you're going to do extended retreat, many hours a day of meditation, it probably makes sense to have someone that you check in with every day or two or three for reasons of sanity. And the story went of this person who went to they borrowed a friend's small cabin in Vermont. And the retreat was going really well, and they were getting lots of clarity of mind. And then one day the creek started making music. And actually I've had the heater at one retreat center I did a long retreat at, the hot air heater had bagpipe music in it that I could hear whenever I went near it. But so the stream started making music, and this person was really delighting in it and would sit near it, and it would just be fascinating. But then it started playing the Star-Spangled Banner. And they didn't like that tune, and they knew they were in trouble when they found themselves in the middle of the stream moving rocks to try to change the tune. and then they called someone and had a conversation about maybe the fact they were losing it. So you never know, but it's an invitation to have support when you're going deep. All right. I take refuge in being awake. What does that really mean? Awake. Knowing what's happening in us and around us in successive moments of consciousness. In this moment, hearing relatively melodious sounds. I take refuge in the Dharma and the way things actually are. And I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of practice, and the community of all life. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. Hi, curly head. Hi, kids. Are you going to meditate? Are you going to let Mom meditate? Yeah. A noble task, raising children. Well, here we are. All the proper lights are on. Heart is beating. The mysterious miracle of awareness is happening. I read somewhere sometime that if we were to flatten out all the little cups, the alveoli in the lungs, the surface area of a human's lungs is about the size of a basketball court. So we have this huge expanse bathed in oxygen molecules and miraculously transferring out carbon dioxide. So we have to get that oxygen in there and the carbon dioxide out. And so, since the moment of your birth, this breathing in and breathing out has been the baseline of your life. What if we were to simply stop here? What if we really listened to the notion, I aspire to love and accept myself exactly as I am in this moment? What if there was nothing to change? We would notice that the breath has a beginning, a very distinct expanding, or if you're following the breath at the nostrils, breathing in. And a very distinct moment when breathing in transforms into breathing out. And then the breathing out occurs until it stops.
Quite possibly, thoughts arise. Maybe trains of thoughts. Maybe storms of thoughts. There's very often, or most times, some mood which colors one's experience. Knowing the mood that's present. At first, that can be challenging because we're not used to observing mood objectively. For the most part, our training prefers to think someone else or some situation is causing my mood, which leaves us powerless. So mood as an object of observation, a contracted mind. Coming home, definitely, intentionally, to the experience, not the idea, not the image, but the experience of breathing in and breathing out.
with our bhavana, our cultivation, we create the conditions for the arising of mindfulness, the remembering to remember to be present. We create the conditions for curiosity. What's happening? What's really happening? We create persistence, effort, and energy. We don't quit at the first obstacle we run into. We don't quit at the 100th obstacle we run into. Joy will emerge. Piti, some sweet feelings in the body, will sometimes emerge. Concentration will grow. The mind will remain with the chosen object more effectively. Tranquility will grow. The mind will become like a forest or a lake on a quiet night. Equanimity will arise, such that very pleasant stimuli and very unpleasant stimuli will arise into a non-reactive state, not unconscious, not uncaring, but capable of receiving life on its own terms. Sometimes the mind will be filled with mindfulness and the other wholesome enlightenment factors. And then a wandering mind thought may emerge and last 1/10 of a second. The contents of it may not even be noticed. It's just the mind turning toward a thought. Other times the thoughts have momentum, and they emerge in moments of unawareness. One thought leads to another. One thought stimulates the fight-flight response, either through desire or aversion. Reactivity begins. And it's a little while, seconds, minutes, before mindfulness somehow or another takes the field again. And then all of a sudden, there's awakeness again. An awakeness which is not enthralled by thoughts. Not mesmerized by emotions. Non-judgmental in any way. Just awake. we take birth in bodies that are, in a certain way, very separate from each other. The body has its sense doors. It's designed to take care of itself, to move away from fire, and to seek pleasure, to seek food, to seek sexuality, for keeping the species going. We go through our separate somebody training in our separate families. And in some ways, we appear to be quite different. As we continue going inward, however, the differences diminish. We all long to be safe, to be loved and loving, to experience compassion when we need it, which is often. We all have minds that run us ragged. Sometimes we superimpose beliefs. Oftentimes we refuse to stop long enough to see what needs to be done. It does take a very brave person to undertake the inward journey. And to persist. We have a lovely vehicle in the breath for guiding us into recognizing this inner and outerness. On the in-breath, as you take the world into your lungs, why not wish yourself well? You could use some familiar, perhaps, or maybe even deeply conditioned or deeply practiced words like, may I be happy on one breath. May I be free from fear and danger. May I live with ease and grace. May I be liberated. On the in-breath, may my life become one long sigh of gratitude. May I recognize that this is the moment of my awakening. And then on the out-breath, we could pick a person, a beloved, a neutral person, a person who we see sometimes on this screen in the morning. And so in the in-breath, we might wish, may I be content with my life as it is. On the out-breath, may you be content with your life. May I be happy, may you be happy. May I recognize the fleeting and precious reality of this body, mind, and life. May you, may the other, recognize the precious, fleeting nature of this body. May I live with ease and grace. May the other live with ease and grace. These words are pointers. They're pointers, they're representations of an intention. Wish yourself well. Put down the old habitual self-hatred and constant sense you should be somebody else. Let's be who we are. Such a relief. On the in-breath, may I remember Ruth Denison's frequent parting statement. Dalink, rest in the beauty of your being. On your in-breath, may I rest in the beauty of my being. On the out-breath, may you, may the other, may a chosen person rest in the beauty of their being. May the dogs and cats and horses and donkeys and all the creatures we have as pets rest in the beauty of their being. May your clients and students and children rest in the beauty of their being. And so there is an in-breath and an out-breath. And please let us form the intention. Soon we'll be leaving our sitting posture, leaving the group. Let us form the intention to be diligent, not uptight, but diligent in our practice of mindfulness today. Think ahead to your schedule and imagine, well, I'm going in the car. Imagine walking to the car mindfully. Imagine starting it mindfully. Imagine driving. Imagine making toast mindfully, opening the jam, cracking an egg. And now please let us encourage awareness of the body, in the body. Letting that awareness fill the hands and arms, shoulders, the neck, the face, the cheeks and the eyes. And now letting the intention to open the eyes form. Then when you're ready, Watch how that intention converts to action. And then watch how the conditions change, and then there's seeing. There's a lovely piece of the story, the mythological story of the awakening of the Buddha. The morning after his awakening. He looked around the world with his celestial eye. It's colorful language, isn't it? With his psychic powers, he looked around the world and he saw how utterly asleep human beings are. And he said to himself, I'm not going to teach. It's hopeless. Why should I bother? I mean, and then Brahman, the king of the Hindu gods from the highest heaven, saw this and freaked out because the gods had been waiting for a Buddha to come along and teach them the way. So he appeared at the feet of now the Buddha, no longer Siddhartha. The awakened one is what Buddha means. And he said, wait, you've got to teach. We've all been waiting a long time. And the Buddha said, nah, look. And Brahman encouraged him, look again, because there are a few who have just a little dust in their eyes. And he said, all right, I'll do it. It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. And so then he decided he would teach. And there's a couple of renditions, as with such stories, There's another rendition of it that I like, which is that it wasn't so much that he said, no, there's too many, they're not going to do it, and people won't get it. And I like this rendition, which is, this is so simple. Everyone's looking for complicated things. No one's going to believe that all they have to do is wake up. No one's going to believe that cultivating mindfulness, moral and ethical behavior, and then cultivating being aware of in-breathing and out-breathing and the thoughts that arise, who would believe that that could lead to freedom, happiness on the way, reducing suffering, but that this could be the doorway to liberation? Who's going to believe that? But it grows on us because we discover it's true. We're freaked out about this or that, and we're all contracted. And then mindfulness clicks on us and we realize, oh, wow, whew, that was a lot. And then we're back in it, and then we're out again. So, dear friends, I won't see you again after today till Sunday. Those are Sunday a week from this Sunday. No, that's not true. I'll be on teaching Sunday. Yeah, and Sunday afternoon I'm leaving for a week of silence in a little house at the beach. So I'm really looking forward to that. And in the interim, there will be several fascinating, lovely human beings who will appear here in the mornings. Jim will be supporting them. And I think it's Jim Monday, Doug Pullen, I believe, Tuesday, and Kendall Wednesday. And after that, I forgot the order.
Gary Thursday and Gregory Friday.
Oh, great. And one of the things I hope is that some of you have never met them, and you might be inspired to check in on their classes, as long as you don't abandon me.
Will there be a dance morning on Tuesday?
I doubt it. No, I doubt that Doug will be leading a dance morning.
That doesn't seem right. Okay.
Yeah. But I will be dancing at the beach. I'm taking my Bose L1, the big boom box that I take to retreats, and so I might be dancing with you. If you're dancing in the early morning pre-dawn, that'll be me. I'll be with you. Yeah, it's funny. So, what's up with you, dear friends?
Robert, you were talking about how the one version of the story talks about it's too easy, it's too simple. The Tibetans have a little chant. So close you can't see it. So subtle, you can't know it. So simple, you can't believe it. So good, you can't accept it.
That's nice. We could make a hymn out of that. I was thinking, so high you can't get over it, so low you can't get under it. We could, so simple you can't believe it.
Hello, it's Denise.
Hello, Denise.
Hello. I don't know if this is exactly about meditation, but I've been really struggling, and you saying that about making a hymn. I want to go to church, and I want to sing, and I want to hold everybody's hand. And I'm tired of not being together. And it's just like this longing that's so intense. I want to hold everybody's hands, and I want to see your bones and your blood vessels, and I'm just tired of all of this. I want to be together. I mean, this longing is making me mad. I don't know how to sit with it in a way that is.
What a beautiful, honest rendition of your experience. I don't think that sitting still and mindfulness of breathing is always the way. Sometimes mindfully stomping and yelling can be really helpful, as long as you're not scaring your cat too much or the kids or something. That to really honor this is the experience of a human being in a very difficult, long, drawn out. I mean, it's awful. And on top of that, there's insanity in the governance of the country. There's rampant delusion. You know, mom and dad have gone crazy, and here we are, the kids, and we don't know what's going to happen, and there's this disease that's taken people down. It's huge. And we miss our rituals of connection and distraction, and so it's a long retreat. And fortunately, we have the Dharma. But I think it's really important not to make ourselves wrong or pathological or something for being upset about, and it can be this deep kind of inchoate. There's just something wrong. So thank you, my dear Denise, for your beautiful honesty and no matter how deep the emotion, no matter how convincing and powerful, we do take it back to our meditation and realize that it's all okay. Even feeling really crappy and lonely and angry, and it's all fine. This is what human beings do. Which doesn't mean that the anguish isn't real. How you doing with that?
Yeah, that helps. I think, just putting words to it helps, because I know that everyone else, or lots of people, feel this, right? Everyone wants to hold their mom's hand and see their friends, and I don't know, it just feels, I think right now, of course, more intense. And I think that this is a great opportunity for me to recognize that. So I'm doing okay. It's just, yeah, it's hard.
Well, and I'm grateful to you for sharing and modeling the experience of the anguish, because people with spiritual orientation and meditators sometimes get the notion that, well, now that I am a meditator and now that I've had such deep experiences of openness and emptiness, well, I shouldn't have this side of myself which is so angry or so hurt or so despairing or so whatever our experience is. And I really think it's both. We have both, and the more open and awake we become, the more we have both polarities. We can have those spacious times of just think, what's the problem? And those contracted times of, well, this is the problem, right? And mostly unspoken, the planet is warming. And everything's up for grabs. Whew. It's Catville. Funny.
Robert.
Hello, B.
Hi, Robert. I really wanted to thank Denise so much from just the bottom of my heart for giving voice to that and doing it exactly the way she did it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's important. I think it's important for us not to. I think it's important for us to at times voice our grief about what's happening. And I think one of the surprising things to a lot of us is that we thought that in times of crisis, and this is such a crisis, that we would have each other and that we would have each other's physical beings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very different to walk through this in such isolation and to have done it for so many months.
Yeah.
And I think we want to hold on to the fact that most of the time we will and do want to have each other. This isn't a new norm for us. So I'm very appreciative of that coming and it coming right now in the midst of this dark time of year. So thank you, Denise.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, B. While I wish it weren't so, this acknowledging of the difficulty of the isolation helps me understand those people who are unwilling to be isolated anymore and who are subscribing to totally delusional beliefs and just falling into the whole delusion side of things. It really makes sense because to face into the difficulty requires support and leadership, and there is a kind of insane leadership which is in denial of the whole thing, of the crisis. And so it gives me compassion, I guess, for people who are being. I read about that minister. I watched him actually. I watched a minister yesterday somewhere denying the reality of the pandemic. It's not a pandemic. There isn't a pandemic, and the interviewer kept asking him, "Well, what would be a pandemic?" "Well, this isn't a pandemic." "Well, what would be your definition of a pandemic?" "No, I'm just telling you this isn't that." So we can do anything we can do anything with our minds, but I guess I said it to stop and feel into it. Geez, it opens up in Pandora's box. And of course, opening Pandora's box is a very essential part of our journey. We have to open the box. It's where the journey starts. I hear a voice.
Hi, it's David.
Hi, David.
Hi, and good morning, Sangha. I find, thank you, Denise, for your comments. It's really, it's touched me, and I really appreciate your comments. I find for myself that when there's a feeling that it's all too much, it's a sign that I'm taking too much in. And so that's when I go back to what's something small. So whether it be a cup of tea or being with an animal or being outside in nature, I'm finding really helpful right now. So, walking in a forest and seeing the trees and plants. I find sometimes with my mind when it gets too caught up in the enormity of events and the bigness of it all, I'm finding it helpful to go into things that are really small and close. So, Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Robert, hi Sangha, this is Valerie.
Hello, Valerie.
So, part of this, and I appreciate this sharing because it really resonated with me as well. And I have quite a few friends in other part of the country where their experiences seem to be so radically different, still flying, still vacationing, still seeing friends, that it feels also like some of my dearest friends now, there's been kind of a widening of not really being able to say our truths or our experiences because of those differences. Like I sometimes, being here in Portland and really having very little contact, it's so strange. Like on one hand, I'm happy for people that feel like they can kind of live mostly their normal lives, and on the other hand, I'm thinking, literally, like, what the hell? I'm so confused that would be your experience. So anyway, I have also not only felt the sadness of the separation, but then also the separation from certain friends.
Thanks, Valerie. Yeah.
I'll jump in on this. Good morning, all. It's Francine. I spent most of last week just furious, just raging furious, and tried to wrap my head around it, and finally came up with, because I had entertained myself, that I had compassion fatigue. And Robert, as you had suggested, sometimes we just have to be angry in order to experience that. So I started letting the F-bomb just fly. I had to go outside. I couldn't even do it in my own house. Oh, I did. No, I was like, don't do this inside. This is too violent. And I joined in on Fridays with Doyle's group, so I put it out to the group in a chat that I had compassion fatigue. And thank you, Kendall. She got back with, I said, I have compassion fatigue, what now? And her comment was, well, then you start with yourself. Start over. And at that point, I kind of reconnected with who I really am. So thank you all for bringing it up. Give it a name and let it be what it is.
So you followed the practice of prescribing your symptoms and really paying attention to them and really being mindful in the midst of it.
And that took some reflection because in the midst of it, I just felt like a volcanic explosion of just furor. And Valerie, and I share some friends in common, and I've wondered about their gallivanting and trips here and there, and I was furious at all of them. How dare they, have fun when in the midst of our sort of not having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had to name it. I had to name it and call it out. And at that point, I realized at least I was aware of that.
Right.
So thank you for the practice. I'm glad to be here again and again and again.
Let's talk, Francine.
We will. I'll call you later.
You? Can I say one more thing?
I guess I better say yes. Please do.
For months, I felt like I needed to keep my camera off because I wake up, I don't even brush my teeth, I barely comb my hair. Most of the time, I'm in a robe. And it took months to feel really safe to just show up as is. And I have to say this, if this hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have found this group. I wouldn't have felt safe to just show up in my robe with my messy hair and my teeth dirty. And so in the midst of all of this other stuff, there's been this huge blessing. Huge. So I wanted to honor and say that too.
Thank you, Valerie. And it comes back to my hair, which is always pretty crazy. And I think I always model complete orderliness.
Robert, good morning. It's Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hello. I've thought recently that people who flagrantly abuse the stay-at-home orders should have to do community service time in a hospital and really see what they might be inflicting on people who are working there so hard day after day. And just have no idea what the potential consequences of their behavior are. It's like, go see it firsthand. So.
Well, or watch a 5-minute interview with a doctor or a nurse or somebody. Watch one of those real things and recognize it's true.
But I'm just amazed at the people who will not even believe that those news reports are accurate, that they are fabricated to scare us.
Yeah.
So.
From the Cleveland Clinic, what is delusional disorder? Delusional disorder, previously called paranoid disorder, is a type of serious mental illness called a psychosis, in which a person cannot tell what is real from what is imagined. The main feature of this disorder is the presence of delusions, which are unshakable beliefs in something untrue. People with delusional disorder experience non-bizarre delusions which involve situations that could occur in real life, such as being followed, poisoned, deceived, conspired against, or loved from a distance. These delusions usually involve the misinterpretation of perceptions or experience. In reality, however, the situations are either not true or not true at all or highly exaggerated. People with delusional disorder often can continue to socialize and function quite normally, apart from the subject of their delusion, and generally do not behave in an obviously odd or bizarre manner. This is unlike people with other psychotic disorders who also might have delusions as a symptom of their disorder. In some cases, however, people with delusional disorder might become so preoccupied with their delusions that their lives are disrupted. Although delusions might be symptoms of a more common disorder, such as schizophrenia, delusional disorder itself is rather rare. Well, delusional disorder most often occurs in middle to late life. So, delusions are beliefs that we hold despite lots of evidence to the contrary. And delusions can exist in vast populations.
It might be the other pandemic we're having right now. I don't know.
Probably, and possibly a greater pandemic. Yeah. The loss of contact with reality. Yeah.
I think it's also important to remember that a lot of those folks are being fed propaganda that it's a deliberate delusion.
Absolutely.
Brainwashed into believing. It didn't just arise spontaneously.
No, it's been worked on for 25 years, intentionally. I have Fox News on my phone. And each day I usually tune in for a little while. And if that were my diet, my information diet, I would certainly be in that mindset. No question. Yeah. Hence compassion, right? I'm not going to follow the news at all for a week. I might suffer withdrawal. Though if experience in the past is any indicator, what I will suffer is a lot of relief. A lot of relief, a lot of naps. Though it will be interesting, I'm sure, when this hour arises, I will be missing being here. It's funny. Buddha's becoming restless. Janet, is it as sunny and beautiful as it appears to be behind you?
Yes, it is. We had a real spate of cloudy days with 2 inches of rain one day, and I started missing the sun, amazingly enough, down here. But now the sun is back, the trough is gone, and the clouds have disappeared. It was blue sky and sunny. I have to have the curtains pulled on 2 sides of my little room, because otherwise I think I probably couldn't see the screen. It would be so bright. My pupils would be tiny pinpricks.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thank you for asking, Robert. I had to forego yoga this morning because I'm having a little hitch in my get along, as my Welsh father would say. So I get to be with you. And I want to wish you a very, very good retreat. I will be imagining you in peace and silence, and no electronics. And I hope you have a very lovely time for your week. And if it's not lovely, channel Francine and go stomp and scream.
All right. I imagine it'll be everything. It usually is. Yeah.
So good to see you and everyone.
Well, I have to go soon. I'm going back to the center again today. I'm meeting a contractor at noon about getting a new gutter on the west side of the Dharma Hall. We've had some leakage. Wouldn't call it flooding, but some wetness in one of the offices. And we've determined it's probably because the gutters overflow. So I need to do my little commute over there this morning. So, dear friends, perhaps I'll be with you on Sunday. And then after that, it'll be, I guess, the next Sunday. So have a lovely time with the other teachers from PIMC, and may we all stay healthy. So please unmute yourself if you'd like, and we'll sing our little song. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yay!
Be well, everyone.
Happy journeys, everybody.
Have a wonderful retreat, Robert.
Thank you.
Yes, Robert, have a great retreat.
That's the plan.
Can't wait to hug you all.
Thank you.
Big hugs.
Thank you, Kate.
Big hugs.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Robert. We'll miss you.
Yes, we will.
Ooh, Jim, thank you for that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, good.
Look at that. Ooh, I bet you're a good hugger.
Check out Yo-Yo Ma's latest cello concert on YouTube. He just released a new one, and the piano player and the cellist do this, and I felt like I was being hugged.
Oh,
Huh.
yummy.
Yo-Yo Ma, Old Man River.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Actually, I have something right here, I think.
Who do you have?
Tara, my daughter Tara sent me this yesterday. Will it? I'm not sure. Oh, it's Spotify. I can't do it. Oh well. Why doesn't she send it in Apple? She forgets her father doesn't participate in every system. All right. It's Yo-Yo Ma. Happy day. Please enjoy and be safe.
Say your bye, everyone. Have a good day. Be well.
Have a good week, Robert.
Later on.
Thank you, Jim.
Enjoy,
I'll
Robert.
I'll see you at the meeting tonight, Jim.
That's right.
Bye, Alethea. And Tempest. Okay, bye-bye. Here I go. I'm pushing the red button now. Gilberto. The budget meeting 9 to 10:30. 9 to 10. Gilberto. Oh, he's not. I can come home for that. 11:30. I could go. I could leave everything. Oh no, I need my computer. $8.28. No, I'm going to do that. All right. Oops. Hello on YouTube. Happy journeys.